Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby 83. This is the Mr. Hornsby 83 show, and today, as I promised at the end of last month, I am going to be asking the question why, and talk about possibilities why this movie has not gotten a frickin' VHS or a frickin' DVD or Blu-ray release. It's called Twilight of Dark Masters. Came out, Came out in 1997, and we have not gotten a frickin' VHS release of this. We've got VHS releases of a lot of other things, but we've never gotten a VHS release of this. Another question is I'm going to ask is why does the main villain, this is the main villain, this is our main hero, why does the main villain look like a demonic version of Frieza? It's a shame he doesn't look too much like that in the movie, and it's a shame we don't get too much of that guy until toward the end of the movie. But anyway, so yeah, Twilight of Dark Masters, one of my favorite animes. I have no idea why. Well, you know, another thing too, we haven't had a streaming, not even streaming has put this frickin' thing on there. No streaming, no nothing. And I will say one thing about this anime. You know, one thing I do not like about it is the volume quality. I had to turn it up super high when I watched it a few weeks ago. Right after I watched my VHS copy of Bardock, Father of Goku, which I found at the half-price bookstore over by, you know, Target and Walmart and that. And, you know, you've seen that bookstore before. That's where I got the VHS copy of Bardock, Father of Goku. But I'm just wondering why this movie has not gotten a proper DVD or Blu-ray release. I mean, honestly. This is a pretty good anime, and it's a kind of a sick, twisted, sad, romantic type of anime. And I don't get why. I don't know if it's because of the rights or the people that own the rights to it freaking just closed down and no one else has picked it up, because right here, let me see. Yeah. I think this is made by Urban. There's the freaking logo to it. Urban something made this, and you know, this is an anime. I mean, it's only like, I think like 60 minutes or so, maybe less than that. Let's see, 50-minute runtime. So I don't get why this movie has not gotten a Blu-ray copy or DVD or been on streaming, because like I said, this is a good movie. I don't know if it's because of the demand. I don't know if it's because, you know, not many people probably knew about it, but I mean, I think it's a good anime. Maybe people think it's too hentai-ish, which there is a ton of freaking nudity. I'm not gonna, you know, sugarcoat it. There's a lot of nudity in this movie. I mean, there's even a point where the main female character, when her husband turns, well, her fiance turns into the freaking demon thing, which I think it's this thing right here. When he turns into it, there's a point where it sounds like, you know, he's humping her. And you hear that after he turns into the demon, because the guy was getting ready to propose to her before he turned into the demon. Right before that, you hear, and then you hear her arms getting ripped off. So, maybe the demon raped her or what, I don't know. But, you know, quite frankly, I'm pretty sure another reason why this probably hasn't had a Blu-ray or DVD release is because of the world we live in these days. People complain about over-the-top nudity and blah 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 blah. Only using women for sexual symbols and all that crap. I hear all that nonsense all the freaking time these days. Because that could be another reason why there's no streaming, no Blu-ray, no VHS version of it. I don't, or not Blu-ray, DVD version. But this is the VHS right here. But, you know, and this is one of the animes I've had. This is the original copy I had when I originally bought it. So this is not You know, I haven't even found any other versions of this on VHS. Anywhere else, this is the only copy I've seen of it, and I've had this copy ever since I was a teenager. So I don't get why. Like, it could be a rights issue. It could be, you know, people would complain because too much nudity and blah blah blah. There's a point. There's a point in the movie. You haven't seen it, and you want to see it. First, you're gonna have a lot of luck trying to track this thing down, and you're probably gonna have to find some place that sells old VHS tapes because, which that's rare these days. I mean, Amazon might have them, but yeah. So you're gonna have a hard time tracking it down. But there is a point in the strip club where, you know, there's some kinky stuff going on right before these chicks get killed by one of the monsters. Because one of the sub-villains in this, because there's like 3 different sub-villains. There's this guy who you really don't see too much of. You see him a few times in the movie, but then there's these demon brother and sister that works for him. And then there's another guy, a human guy that works for him. This guy's our main character, and yeah, it's a guy. Looks like a chick, but it's a guy. Anyway, so there is a ton of nudity, and I don't even know. It's so bad it don't have a 17 or nothing. It's just mature rated. So I don't know. Maybe that's a reason why we haven't gotten a Blu-ray or DVD copy of this. But hell, look at all the other anime we've got Blu-ray and DVD copies of. I can make a case for freaking Ghost in the Shell. Look at that. That movie won awards and everything. And throughout the whole movie, the main character, her name's Major, she's naked through the whole thing. You see her boobs, you see her vagina, you see her butt, you see everything. Now, I guess people could say, well, you know, she's kind of a machine and a shell body or whatever, but still, she's naked throughout the whole movie, and this freaking stuff, she looks like she's a real woman, so you can't sit there and, that can't be the reason why this movie has not got a Blu-ray or DVD copy. And freaking, that movie has got Blu-ray, DVD, and has been on streaming. Another movie I can make a case for, which is another anime I like too. I like Ghost in the Shell as well. But another anime I like is Ninja Scroll. And boy, that movie got a Blu-ray copy. It's got about as much nudity as this movie does. And as much violence. But there's even a freaking main snake woman who's naked throughout half the freaking movie. Not only that, I think the main character is somewhat gay. Well, he's bisexual because there's a character in her that's gay, but you know. So how come those movies have got Blu-ray and DVD copies and this one hasn't? I don't get it. Came out around the same time as Ghost in the Shell. Came out around the same time as Ninja Scroll. Why does this not have a Blu-ray DVD copy? Now, I don't think it was nudity because, like I said, there's far more anime that's got worse nudity in it. I mean, look at Berserk. That came out in the late 90s, and I didn't even know about Berserk until a few years ago when I watched, found it on Netflix, watched it. I'm like, yeah, I'll check this out because I've heard some things about Berserk. And that thing's got a lot of nudity in it too. And grotesque violence and all that stuff. Came out around the same time as this did. Now here's another one I'll talk about. Where's my Blue Gender movies? Let's see. Blue Gender, yeah. Blue Gender came out around the same time frame too. And it's got a lot of nudity, sexual stuff in that. So I don't get it. You know, it can't be nudity because a lot of the other stuff that has more nudity or less or you know, the same amount of nudity in it, they've got Blu-ray copies and DVD copies. Now, it could be a rights situation where no one's bought the rights to this after Urban Entertainment went out of business or whatever it's freaking called. But Maybe that's why. Maybe because there's no rights to it. I don't know. But, yeah, someone needs to pick up rights to this movie and give me a Blu-ray and DVD copy. With the volume enhanced. And, you know, all that. Because even for VHS standards, this was a freaking low standard. And you can see the box has got some damage. This is, like I said, I've had this since I bought it when I was a teenager. So, I don't know if I bought it when I was a sophomore or whatever in high school. But I've had it since then. I haven't been in high school since 2002. Early 2002. So, yeah. And you know, if no one has bought the right, they should buy the rights to this, because this is a good movie. Very good. A very, you know, sad, kind of sad ending for the main female character in this. And her lover. You know, kind of sad how they do that. You know. Maybe it's a rights problem. Maybe that's why we haven't gotten Twilight of the Dark Masters on Blu-ray or DVD. But I'm like, well, heck. Yeah, maybe, you know, someone will buy the rights to it. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been plenty of opportunities for people to buy the rights to this movie. And they haven't yet. And like I said, I'd like to see a Blu-ray DVD copy of this. Because until that happens, I'm keeping my VHS copy of this. I know years ago we did a yard sale when I still lived in Newport. And I sold a lot of Dragon Ball Z movies I had. But I've gotten most of those back on DVD and Blu-ray. Most of the anime I had that I sold, that I have VHS copies of, I've gotten back on Blu-ray and DVD. Vampire Hunter D, Street Fighter 2. I didn't rebuy Alpha because I didn't care too much for Alpha. And I saw the second Alpha movie. It was a little bit better than the first one, but I still didn't like it. That first Street Fighter anime movie is pretty good. And probably next to that with anime with Street Fighter would probably be Street Fighter V. That was a decent show. But, yeah. Let's see. What's another reason why this probably hasn't gotten a Blu-ray, DVD, or streaming service yet? Well, only thing I can think about is I already talked about the nudity. I already talked about all that. Maybe people think, like I said, maybe people think it's too much hentai. Which is, I mean, yeah. There's a ton of nudity in this, not as much as you would think it is. But, you know, there's even some weird ancestral stuff between the two demons that work for the main villain. Because the main villain is, you know, this demon, ancient demon that this guy's been fighting for years. So much so that, you know, this thing killed his girlfriend or wife or whatever. So that's why he had sympathy for the main girl in the other movie. And, you know, another reason why probably nobody's picked this up or anything, maybe there hasn't been enough demand for it. When I see people talk about anime, I see them talk about shows like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, Attack on Titan, you know, One Piece. Anime movies they probably talk about the Street Fighter anime movie. They talk about Ghost in the Shell. They talk about Ninja Scroll. But I don't hear many people mention this movie. Or they'll talk about a movie like, I don't know, Perfect Blue, Heavy Metal, and Heavy Metal 2000. Vampire Hunter D is in the conversation as well. But, yeah. Maybe that's another reason. Maybe if I get people aware, and if people are fans of this movie like me, comment and let me know, so we can try to get a demand for this to get a Blu-ray, DVD, and streaming freaking release. At least on streaming, since everything's going to streaming now. At least get a freaking streaming thing for it. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen this on Crunchyroll, I haven't seen it on Verve, I haven't seen it on anything to do with the anime stuff. The only thing I've seen that is on is VHS. And ever since I bought it, I have not seen this. Yeah, when it was out, when it was still fresh in that, and VHS was still around, I've seen it a lot more. But now I don't see it at all. I don't see anybody half-price books, flea markets, you know, or anything like that that sell VHS tapes have this movie on their shelf. And it's kind of disappointing. Because I love this movie. I like this movie. Yeah, it's got some flaws. Yeah, there's some other things about it that I don't like. But I still, overall, this is one of my favorite animes out there. And the fact that they have not made a freaking Blu-ray copy, DVD copy, or a streaming copy of this, is just ridiculous. Because imagine, this thing would be so much better if it was in HD quality from DVD, Blu-ray, streaming. So yeah, if you guys are a fan, Twilight of the Dark Masters like I am, get in the comment sections. Let's get a petition to bring Twilight of the Dark Masters back. Not with no crappy remake, not with no crappy sequel. The original version, just yeah. Another reason why this could be, you know, an anime that hasn't gotten a Blu-ray or DVD release and all that is because, or streaming release, because there is a lot of religious stuff. This villain's like a demon from hell or something. And he bashes heaven a lot. And I think this guy's supposed to be like an angel from heaven or whatever. But this guy bashes heaven a lot too, so that could be another reason why it hasn't gotten that. But I've seen movies like, I don't know, Devil Woman, Devil Man, a couple other anime that had a lot of religious stuff in it that freaking got Blu-ray, streaming, and DVD releases. So why the hell have we not gotten a release of this? It baffles my mind. Baffles my mind. This is an anime I like, and like I said, it's probably an underrated anime because I don't hear many people talk about it. I've seen a lot of anime channels over the years. When they talk about the old stuff, they'll talk about stuff like, you know, sometimes Vampire Hunter D, Berserk, all that stuff. But they never talk about Twilight of the Dark Masters. Yeah, one thing I will say though, it's a shame this demon does not look like a demented freezer in the freaking actual movie. I mean, the artwork, he looks like an evil, demented Frieza, but he doesn't look too much like that in the movie. And people who've seen the movie probably know. That's one reason why I wanted to see this movie, because it's like, wait a minute, that looks like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Just a more evil, demonic version, and I don't see how anybody could get more eviler and demonic than Frieza, but you haven't seen this guy. Yeah. Actually, yeah. And it's built as the ultimate clash between good and evil. So this guy's the embodiment of evil. This guy's the embodiment of good. Why he's wearing lipstick, I don't know. It's an anime, you know. And the guy wasn't gay in the anime. He was straight. Because he had a wife who got killed by this villain. But yeah, there's a brother-sister demon duo that worked for him. That, you know, there's a point where he's fighting them, and like he blasts one of them, and you know, blood gets on the breast of the sister, and the brother licks it. Yeah, that's kind of demented and, you know, incestual, but you know what? It's anime. Made by Japan. Come on now. So yeah, anybody who's a fan of this, you know, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think of this anime. And let me know why you guys think why this hasn't gotten a Blu-ray, a DVD, or a streaming release ever. Let me know in the comments below. Because, you know, I think this deserves a Blu-ray. If a lot of other anime can get Blu-ray, you know, DVD and streaming releases, why not Twilight of the Dark Master? Like I said, and I'll show you all the damage to the box. That shows you how long I've had this. How damaged my box is. Because I was not going to sell this movie unless I knew I was getting a Blu-ray or DVD version of it. And that's the one I've had ever since I first bought the movie. Same one. And it just sucks that we never got another release of that movie in a better format. VHS was good for its time. I grew up on VHS and that, But, you know, Blu-ray and DVD came along and did a little bit better than what VHS did. Now we got streaming, and streaming's doing a little bit better than what Blu-ray and DVD did. But yeah, let's get a petition for a DVD Blu-ray streaming version of Twilight of the Dark Masters. It's a underrated anime, and I think more people should check it out. Especially if you love ultra-violent freaking anime, and you like a lot of TNA in your anime. This movie's the movie to do it for you. Even with the weird brother-sister freaking, you know, plot. Because there's even a point where the freaking sister, after she licks his boobs, after he licks her boobs, she's like, I've gotten really wet. Yeah, I know what wet means. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, you guys let me know. Also, don't forget to check out the video I did Monday. Final Mortal Kombat video for this year. I talked about different things. I talked about the movies. I talked about the storyline. I talked about the animated series stuff. I talked about the TV shows. So yeah, go check out that. Go check out King of the Figures, especially if you want me to do Halloween Figure Havoc this year. Go check out King of the Figures. Because unless it does well enough, where I think it's done well enough, then I'm not going to do a wrestle figure show. But if it does well enough, and I see it's got a good amount of views, I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to do the next one. So if you want to see that, you got to freaking check out King of the Figures. Like I said, check out my video Monday. Tomorrow I might do a Not My Newport video short. I said it was coming back in July. I didn't say when. And toward the end of this month, even if, you know, King of the Figures is my last Wrestle Figure show or whatever, I'm still going to do Wrestle Figure Event Rewind. I gotta think of a better name for it. But I'll think of a better name for it. And I'll probably do it toward the end of this month. Then the next one I'll do will be a one that I know a lot of people will want to see. And I might do that in August. Early in August. But, you know, we gotta wait and see. But yeah, that'll do it. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Twilight of the Dark Masters. Let me know why you think it hasn't gotten a Blu-ray DVD release. Let me know. I mean, a lot of things. Yeah. Anyway, please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. And I've been saying leave a comment like several times on this video, but yeah. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Twilight of the Dark Masters. And then tune in this Friday when live streams return with the playthrough of Super Mario World. Now I'm not going to use the file I already got, you know, saved. I'm going to start a new file underneath that file, because with the Mario game you can start multiple files with Super Mario World. So I'll be doing a live stream playthrough of Super Mario World. Then the following week will be Super Mario 1. Then the following week will be Judge Dredd. And I can finally break out on YouTube my Sylvester Stallone song. Now I have to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger song. But you know, I got a Predator game for Nintendo. I can break out my Arnold Schwarzenegger song when I do that. But anyway, that'll do it. See you guys Friday for the live stream. It returns. I did not do a live stream for last week's video because I didn't feel like making a thumbnail for a wrestling figure event. I'll just do live streams for the playthroughs. Because the playthrough, you know, since I started the live streams for the playthroughs, they've done pretty well. They've done pretty decent. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, I've gained new subscribers from that and all that too. So yeah, but I'll do it. Catch you guys later. Peace out.